Beloved, I'm Dolores Carpenter, and this is your Heritage Moment 31 Black Martyrs. Slave revolts and rebellions were more common than generally acknowledged. Not all looked the same. Some were as simple as vandalizing the tools so that work would be delayed. Others were well organized and executed events in which one or two slaves inspired others to join in their cause in the fight for freedom. Nat Turner, who was born a slave on October 2nd in 1800 in Southampton County, Virginia, led the most significant slave revolt in United States history. Growing up, he was a very intelligent religious child. Some believed he was a prophet. He then became a preacher, visionary, and leader. It was believed that he received instructions directly from God. He had three visions. The first was in the woods after he ran away in 1821, later leading him to return to his master. The second vision was in 1825. In this vision, he saw drops of blood on corn as if it was dew from heaven. He felt that this was a sign that Jesus was soon to return. His last vision was in 1828, in which he was told to fight the serpent. He believed that this was a sign from heaven to begin his revolt. Turner supposed that God wanted him to lead the slaves out of bondage, and in February of 1831, he saw an eclipse and assumed it was time to plan. Turner's plan was to free slaves and kill whites. He planned for the attack on July 4th, but he later became ill and the revolt was postponed to a date in August 1831. He and several other men met in the woods and they went to his master's home first. They killed the master's entire family and then went from house to house killing other whites. In the process, 50 to 60 other slaves assisted him. This ultimately led to the killing of 55 white people. Some of the slaves were captured and hung. Turner went into hiding for about 6 weeks until he was finally captured, hung, and skinned. The 1791 Haitian overthrowing of the French government was the first successful large-scale slave revolt. Toussaint Louverture led the charge that helped to establish Haiti as a free and independent nation. During the fighting, many fled to the United States. Haiti's successful fight for freedom influenced Gabriel Prosner. Gabriel was a skilled blacksmith, and as such, he was given the opportunity to be hired out to neighboring plantations. This put him in touch with free blacks, enslaved blacks, artisans, and poor whites, as well as news, information, and ideas about freedom. Prosner's plan was simple. Revolters would gather and march towards Richmond, Virginia, and take over the ammunitions building. Along the way, all whites were to be slaughtered except those who were Methodists, Quakers, or French, as they were viewed as friends of freedom. Prosner believed that poor whites would also join the cause because they were oppressed by the system of slavery as well. Prosner's rebellion reached Albemarle County, Norfolk, and Petersburg, Virginia. The revolt was scheduled for Saturday, August the 30th, 1800. However, that day, a serious downpour of rain made vital bridges and roadways impassable. In response, the attack was rescheduled for the next night, August 31st. The delay gave two slaves the opportunity to divulge the plan to their owners. Action was immediately taken to thwart the attack. Prosner was captured on September 14th, hanged in the town square on October 10th. Subsequently, laws were passed in Virginia that restricted the practice of hiring out and the gathering of enslaved persons. African Americans are a noble people, anointed by God to resist oppression. Remember, don't worship without your heritage moment.